I think Alan could explain some of the frustrations that we're having in regards to potential listings and things. And maybe you guys have some ideas. You can tell us how to get people off the dime. What do you
Sure.
think, Alan?
Well, yeah, our problem seems to be taking the prospects from interested to giving us information to do valuations.
Yeah.
And so we're just looking at our kind of list of prospects, and they're all kind of in that early stage of providing information. And we call them, and sometimes they don't call us back, or we connect to them. And so I'm not sure if there's a lot of competition distracting them from following up with us, or if they're just kind of flaky, or if they're not committed to selling their property, so they're not moving forward now. But it just kind of illustrates to me we need a lot more prospects in our pipeline of deals, because we're not getting
Yeah.
very far with the ones we started with.
As a professional voicemail leaver, I hear you loud and clear. You have to stay. What I do is I just hound people. I don't hound them to the point where I'm being a pain in the ass, but I'm definitely persistent in hounding them often in a very nice way to gently remind them that I can't help them if they don't provide the information that I need in order to help them. So honestly, it's just a matter. It's frustrating, is right. You just have to stay on top of them. I mean, I just got financials in yesterday on 2 leads that I've been working to get them for over a month, man. I'm not even exaggerating, well over a month. These are people I visited with, people who I spoke with, I don't know how many times. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth. But yeah, there's no easy answer other than just, you got to stay on top of them, really. That's what I find anyway.
Do you do that
Yeah.
every week or?
All right, what I'll do is I'll contact them once a week. I'll call, I'll text, and I'll leave a voicemail depending on whether or not I get a response. So if I call, I can't get them on the phone, I immediately follow up with a text, and then I'll always follow up with an email as well. So it's voice, call, text, email once a week. Yeah, you don't want to be overburdened. And also keep in mind, sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes you overthink it, right, Alan? You say, well, maybe they're not interested. Maybe they're talking to other business brokers. These business owners are so busy, man. They don't have the time, and unless it's their number one priority that day, they're going to put it off on the side. And when they're spending all those hours running their business, they're ignoring everything. They're ignoring business brokers. They're ignoring their families. They're ignoring their friends. They're ignoring having fun. So I think, not to read too much into it, they're business owners, they're busy. And then what I'll do is I'll always say, look, I get it. I understand you're busy. I'm flexible. You want to talk on the weekend? We'll talk on the weekend. You want to talk at night? We'll talk at night. You want to talk before you open the doors in the morning? We'll talk there. So offer alternatives as far as when it's a convenient time for them, because sometimes, it might help a little bit, but that's what I do.
Yeah. And I take a little bit different tact. I tend to deal more with email rather than calling them. And I will send them an email just following up on the list of documents. And then a week later, I'll send, if I don't hear anything back, because usually in my email, it asks them for an ETA. I said, hey, let me know. Let me know when you think you can have the documents available. Then I'll send them maybe another email that says, look at, just forward this to your CPA, because I can get started if I just have your last 3 years of tax returns. So forward this to your CPA and have your CPA send me the last 3 years of tax returns. And that way we can get your valuation started. And then, the other thing I do is sometimes I'll close out an email just saying, look, I don't want to be a pest, but I do like to be diligent. And so if if things have changed, you're no longer interested, whatever, just let me know so that I can, so that I don't hound you, or so that I can stop, and so that I don't send you unwanted emails, I think is what I said. So I give them an out, and that way, that one they usually respond back to and say, no, I'm interested. I've just been busy. Usually when you give them an out. So I think I tend to just do it more by emails, because they are probably busy. I know that. And I want them to be able to see the email at night or in the morning or whenever, and respond to it if they're going to. But I don't usually call them as much, just because they're gonna, they're usually just going to tell me that they've been busy and they'll get to it when they can. So, but yeah, you can be creative. You can actually just set up an email series, and because you set up some email templates, whatever CRM you're using, just set up email templates, because this is going to be an ongoing problem when you're dealing with business owners for the rest of your life. So rather than having to type it out every single time, you know, what you really want is just a to-do on your calendar that says follow up on documentation. So once you send out the initial request for documentation, then you have another follow-up, and you have a specific email to follow up, you know, and then a second or third email, just follow up, so that you can just pull them down off of a list and send them out and you're done. So saves you time, but you're going to be, I mean, that's it. Getting the documents is half the battle. And then once you have the documents, then you find out whether the business is going to be saleable, because sometimes what you find out is the company's losing money and they didn't know it because they don't know how to read their financials. So that can be a problem too.